Happy New Year, everyone. What better way to blow off the cobwebs of 2024 and welcome in 2025 than with a beautiful ice cold plunge. So far this week, we've very much maintained the status quo. Beautiful, lovely, warm, sunny, high pressure. I say warm and sunny. It's warm up the mountain. It's absolutely Baltic down here. Especially if you've been in Les Houches or Le Bosson, that end of the Chamonix Valley. It's not seen the sun in weeks, and it still won't see the sun for another few weeks yet, so everything's absolutely plastered in snow, thick hoarfrost. But up in mid-mountain, it's actually quite toasty, quite pleasant. It's been incredibly busy this week up on the mountain. I guess I'm partly to blame for that, getting the word out that it's been brilliant snow and lovely weather over Christmas, so between Christmas and New Year, thousands and thousands of tourists have come out, and as such, there's been some pretty big queues on the mountain. I haven't been up piste skiing in a few days, but a couple of my friends were out on New Year's Eve yesterday, and some of the queues were 30 minutes long, and they just gave up in the end. But yeah, that's what happens when you've got good snow and good weather around Christmas time. But things are set to change over the coming days, so stay tuned to find out more. And this is a change I was talking about. I'm currently up to my knees here. It's hard to know exactly how deep the snow is because the base is still a little bit soft, so I'm not actually botting out anything hard here, although up at the top it's definitely an old wind cross that I was hitting. But yeah, yesterday, 2nd of January, the stagnant high pressure finally broke and cold fronts have crossed the Alps. So a bit of a chaotic day yesterday actually. Simultaneously, freezing level and temperatures was dropping on the mountain, while the temperatures were rising rapidly in the valley bottom as the inversion finally got stirred up. So temperature rose by about 5 or 6 degrees in the valley bottom, while it was dropping rapidly on the mountain. I think the temperatures got above freezing for the first time in about 2 weeks in Les Houches and Le Bosson. So yeah, quite a big change. But this cold is only going to be short-lived. It's Friday today, freezing levels are dropping towards sea level, but tomorrow, Saturday, they'll be rising back up towards 3,000 meters again. So some crazy rapid temperature swings right now. Over the weekend, we have got a little bit more weather coming through, but as I say, freezing levels are going up rapidly, so it'll probably be rain up to relatively high levels, unfortunately. But there's also more snow in the medium to long range forecast beyond that as well. More on that at the end. Never seen Saint-Gervais so tracked out. Okay, you can still find relatively untouched snow with just a little bit of effort. Usually you can find completely untouched snow with basically no effort. I think you just stopped giving away all my secrets. Still, it's better than being in Chamonix today. I expect Grand Montée, the entire mountain, will look like a piste by lunchtime. Whereas at least this, yeah, when you put a little bit of effort in, you still can find some relatively nice snow. Thankfully, many of these people will be off home tomorrow and we'll get the mountains back for the rest of January at the very least. Okay, normality restored. That's at least one of my semi-secret spots almost untouched, so I'll take that. I'm definitely not telling you where that one is, because it's remarkably close to the lift. Although, I will let you try and guess where it is. Any thoughts? Woo! Not see that. Woo. Earlier this week, I opened my account of the Valley Blanche for the season. Nice little birthday treat. It's probably the earliest I've ever done the Valley Blanche by nearly a month. It's pretty unusual to be doing it in January, or indeed December as it was. Not surprisingly, it still is very much early season conditions. The arette's not equipped at all. There's not even a single handrail at the top, so you need to be a very confident mountaineer to be able to get down. The top section is actually pretty good. I mean, I was skiing it back in September, so the upper sections of the Valley Blanche are very well filled in. And indeed, the lower section as well, you can ski comfortably all the way to the gondola without taking your skis off or even getting any scratches. But the mid-section above and just below the salle à manger is very technical, very complicated. There's one section where it's basically, you're literally between a rock and hard place. You've got to go down this narrow chute between rocks and the ice, which is at its narrowest less than 180 centimetres. So if you've got long skis, you're going to struggle. So to be doing the Valley Blanche right now, you need to be both an expert skier and a confident mountaineer to be doing it. Even if you're taking a guide, you still need to be an expert skier. Later in the season, you can get down it as an intermediate skier, but yeah, right now you need to be an expert skier, even with a guide. Indeed, very few guides will be doing it this time of year. I don't think anyone's going to be guiding it from the Chamonix side because the arete is unequipped, which makes their life so much harder. Some guides are doing it from the Italian side, and if you are interested, I know Tom Ripley has been doing it last week. That was some of his video footage that you saw earlier. So I'll put his contact details in the description. So if it's something you're looking to do, then maybe give him a try. A few other guides are doing it as well, but yeah, it's still very, very quiet at the moment. It's not really peak season for the Valley Blanche for at least a month yet. Back in resort, we pretty much have full opening, as you would expect after all this snow. There are a handful of lifts which aren't open, mostly because they're duplicate lifts. And there's still some pistes which aren't open, but you can, generally speaking, ski them all. Even the resort runs skiable, just about, if you don't mind scratching your bases a little bit. And once most of the tourists have gone home this weekend, the piste conditions should be lovely and quiet again, so the groomers will be absolutely amazing. So, as I've already mentioned, there's a bit more weather coming this weekend, but it remains to be seen if it'll actually bring in any more snow. Could just be rain, or it could just be nothing at all. And then, moving towards the long-term outlook, we've very much got a mobile westerly pattern with a strong jet stream pretty much blasting its way straight across the UK at the moment. Which means there's going to be lots of weather coming our way in Western Europe, and therefore lots of precipitation, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be cold, unfortunately. Typically speaking, you'll get warm front coming through, cold front coming through. There's going to be lots of yo-yoing in temperature, so the snow quality will vary, but I mean, snow is snow at the end of the day. The more we get now, the better it'll be later on in the season. So yeah, it may well be raining from time to time if you are out here, but that also means there'll be some snow falling up high, and equally, the next day it could probably be snowing down to the valley as well, so yeah. All is not lost if you arrive and it's raining in town. If you're planning on coming out here soon, but haven't yet planned your airport transfers, I'll leave the link to mountain drop-offs in the description again. It should work this time, or you can also use the QR code as well. I'll also leave the link to Fly-Chamonix in the description in case anyone's interested in doing a tandem paragliding flight. Other than that, all that's left for me to say is, once again, Happy New Year everyone. Hopefully you've all resolved to work a bit less and ski a bit more. It's a secret to a happy life.